The next step in our calibration process is to look at the MHU offset for your various wind wands. It turns out we've only declared one here, so we can't swap that. And so we see at start of those 4 graphs, which show us what is the difference of true wind angle between port and starboard upwind, because we're looking at tacks. So each of this bar corresponds to one tack that we have validated previously. We get the same downwind. And then at the bottom, we also get a graph where we're displaying, rather than looking at each of the tacks, we're just displaying 1 point for all the straight line phases. So we do expect that sometime we might have been sailing in a high mode and a low mode. So we're not expecting to be perfectly aligned, but it's a way to look both at maneuvers and also data during the day in straight line. So first of all, we get the option to plot different types of wind. Currently, you're seeing true wind, but you can look at apparent wind, and even better, if you had it in your log, you could look at measured wind, which might be even more interesting. We do have the option here to specify if there was any wind shear. And now's the time to start playing with this MHE offset. We can see that at least during the tacks, it seems that when sailing on starboard tack, it was reading quite a bit wider true wind angles than on port. So we can simulate a new MHU offset, maybe making it smaller. Once again, it reminds you what you had while you were sailing. Now, in this case, you cannot change that because it was specified that it was in the log. So if it's in the log, we take it to be the absolute truth, and we can't modify that value during sailing. We can only simulate new ones. So as we do that, we can see the average. It's not perfect, but the average from port to starboard getting more balanced. Once again, we might want to remove outliers just by making those invalid and confirming that this tack we just don't want to look at. And maybe this one is also quite wide. Could be that we were tacking over ley line. And here we go. So playing with this new MHU offset. Note that in all the different modules that there is, you can always ask to look at the log data. So that can be interesting when you do reporting or doing a screenshot, and you can clearly show that things have improved. Here we have the light color, who are quite far off, and then the darker colors are the new values.